Hey guys, welcome to Hook with Anime. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe my channel. It's start. 566 Chapter 4. What am I supposed to do? Hey guys. A real quick thing to know is that I will reveal what happened in the past as the story goes on, whether it's through flashbacks or dreams. First, something very crucial to note is that I've read through all your reviews and I have come to a decision on what I'm going to do with Graphia. She will be part of Naruto's harem, but it's going to be very secretive, and when it finally gets revealed, Searsex obviously isn't going to be happy. Lots of drama and fighting and all that, but it'll be a very long time before we get to that. Second, there's a couple of surprises in this chapter of my own ideas that I'm pretty sure hasn't been done before also. Last, but not least, the tone of this chapter is significantly different from other chapters, and also as a warning, it has some mature implication and content in here. As always, I'm extremely grateful to everyone reading this and all the feedback I've gotten, so without further ado, here's the next chapter and I hope you enjoy. Talking, Thoughts, Strong Being Talks, Strong Being Thoughts. Flashback Chapter 3. What am I supposed to do? Flashback. It's been about 3 years since Naruto and Akeno were turned into devils, and now both have fully been integrated into the devil family and they've enjoyed it to the fullest. Well, not everyone. Naruto. Akeno shouted as she ran through the hallways of the Gremory mansion. With each door that she opened and new room she entered, her anger increased. I swear if he's as with that whore, I'm going to kill him, and then I'll kill her, and then kill him again because I want to, Akeno muttered to herself. At the age of 14, Akeno had the body of a grown adult model, with huge boobs, and a nice curvy bottom. She was proud of what she had, especially whenever she caught Naruto giving her discreet glances. With her hair growing in length, she opted for a French braid hairstyle that ran down one side of her face, giving off a seductive, yet cute look. Meanwhile, Naruto was busy hiding in Rias' room with the owner of the room, being scared to death. Oh come on Naruto. Don't tell me you're scared of little Akeno, Rias whispered teasingly. She thought that Naruto acting like this was really cute and funny. Hunched up in a ball and rocking back and forth, Naruto looked traumatized. You don't understand. Whenever she looks for me and I don't respond, I'm the one who always gets hurt. This is all your fault. Naruto dramatically thrust his finger pointing at Rias. Rias giggled. How is this my fault? Akeno hates finding me with you, talking to you, or even being in the same room with you. Naruto sighed. Come to think about it, every time I've gotten hurt is 'cause I'm with you. Neither of them noticed the increasing sound of footsteps. Rias only smiled. It's only right that two people who love each other should be together, right? Well, the footsteps got louder and louder. Rias cut him off, and if someone tries to get in the way of that, they should be ignored, right? Well, she isn't real, once again, Rias cut him off, plus do you really want her when you can have me? With that being said, she pushed Naruto onto her bed and attacked his lips with her own, and slowly but surely, Naruto's resistance crumbled and he began to kiss back. Naruto flipped Rias onto her back, and deepened the kiss.
Oh Naruto, Rias broke the kiss breathing heavily, while Naruto just gave his signature smirk that made all the ladies weak in the knees.
Yes, oh Naruto. Naruto's smirk dropped at light speed and shakily turned his head to an oh so beautiful voice.
Akeno glared at her twin so hard that lightning was literally shooting off her eyes, turning parts of Rias' room into a color of scorched black. But as she gazed at the boy she loved, she couldn't help but acknowledge on how good-looking he became over the years.
Standing at an impressive height of 5 feet and 9 inches, Naruto had the body of a lean swimmer, a defining six-pack, and somehow had natural blonde streaks that ran through his used-to-be black hair. And while Naruto normally sported a confident grin, right now he was sweating profusely, with his BS grin. Hey beautiful, how's life? Naruto stammered out. Akeno marched over to Naruto and threw him to the floor. Shut up. Prepare to face your doom. She conjured a lightning bolt directed towards Naruto until a red ray of energy deflected it. Forgetting someone? Rias interjected. I can't have you injuring my fiancé now, can I? Akeno turned her glare towards her king. Rias has also grown in the past few years. With an ample bust almost to the size of Akeno's, keyword being almost, and a nice ass that can make any man beg, Rias has grown to be quite beautiful as well. Her long red hair that flowed down her back is what made the one person she loves attracted to her even more. Fuck you. Akeno attempted to kill Rias with her eyes. I'd rather fuck Naruto, Rias said seductively as she turned towards said person, and wouldn't you like that, sweetie? Rias cupped her breasts and crawled towards Naruto. Naruto couldn't keep his eyes off of her. Naruto. Akeno couldn't keep it in anymore. I hate you. Don't ever talk to me ever again. She ran off. Wait, Akeno. Naruto watched her run off and he and Rias couldn't help but wonder what brought on this sudden behavior. It was the middle of the night and Naruto stood outside Akeno's room and with a deep breath, he turned the knob and walked inside. Her room was rather full of pictures. Pictures of the two of them. From a family picture from way back when to the time when they went to the amusement park, and even one of all the new people in their life including Rias. Naruto chuckled quietly to himself as he looked back on the memory of where Akeno and Rias were arguing and the photographer took the picture at the exact moment where they were pulling each other's cheeks. He moved towards her bed and sat on the side slowly stroking back his sister's hair so he could see her perfect face as she slept ever so peacefully. He sighed and a small gentle smile took place as he gazed at her. I could never say this to you while you were awake, so I guess this is the best time to say things I normally can't. Ever since we've changed into devils, there's been just so many changes to our lives and my life. Call me crazy, but I miss the times when we used to run around foolishly. I miss the times when the two of us would tickle each other until one gave up. And I miss the times where you would tease me, and I would tease you back trying to one-up you. Sadly, I can't do things like that anymore. I have responsibilities now and whoever would have thought that I, Naruto Himejima, would ever have such things. I have to run important missions for Graphia. I'm now engaged to Rias instead of the bastard Phoenix who she used to be with. But most of all, I have to be a brother and nothing more for you. I know you're asleep, so you can't hear this, which is good, because Akeno Himejima, while I can't, I do, and always will, love you. A single tear rolled down Akeno's cheek, as Naruto got up and began to walk out of her room. He made one last glance. What am I supposed to do? Love me. Naruto stopped in his tracks. What? Love me? Akeno got up and repeated. I see can't, I'm sorry. Naruto turned to leave, until he felt two slender arms tightly wrap around his torso. Please, don't leave me alone, Naruto. Akeno's voice cracked and with those words Naruto's heart sank. Don't leave me for her, please. I love you so much. Don't pick her, choose me. Naruto spun around and kissed Akeno. Hard. Full of passion, desire, lust, but most of all, love. Akeno and Naruto melted into one. Akeno jumped onto Naruto and crossed her legs behind Naruto's back, as he lifted her up and pushed her against the wall, trying to convey his feelings as much as possible. Grinding on each other's special regions, they moaned out in unison. Naruto carried Akeno back to her bed and threw her on it, only to reach down and kiss her harder. Clothes came off and with a brief silence with a quiet sound of encouragement, there was a piercing scream, until soft moans could be heard and were becoming increasing louder, flesh hitting flesh over and over again, and finally, pure bliss. The moment was perfect.
Flashback end. I haven't had that dream in a while, Akeno thought as she woke up feeling particularly happy. Doing her regular routines, her thoughts couldn't help but drift back to the previous night where she declared that she would steal him from Rias. It didn't help that the idea of stealing him from someone else really turned her on.
I really need to take a shower. A very cold one and that, but first. Akeno exited her room in the shrine, and walked across the hallway to her brother's room and knocked on the door. Naruto. She knocked again. When she once again received no answer, she entered the room. As usual it was really messy and she couldn't help but giggle as Naruto was sleeping very peacefully with a little drool running down the side of his mouth. Wake up, Oni-chan. We need to go to school. Akeno whispered into his ear. 5 more minutes please. Naruto turned over and reached for his other pillow under the blanket. Hiya. Huh? Naruto squished the pillow, again, and once again the same sound was heard. Hiya. Akeno yanked off the covers, and lo and behold, Rias Gremory stared back at her. Good morning. Rias said as if she wasn't naked, and of course, hey sweetie. She turned towards the still sleepily Naruto as if she was a predator and quickly claimed his lips with her own. And what the hell do you think you're doing? Akeno grabbed and threw her king off of her brother. Naruto is mine, she proclaimed as she took her chance and slipped her tongue into his mouth. Through all of this, still relatively dazed, Naruto couldn't help but think, life's pretty good. Making out heavily, Akeno opened one eye and gave a quick smug smirk at Rias, which only served to infuriate the red-haired Gremory even more. Akeno, Rias tackled her queen off of the bed and the two began to grab each other in any way possible to subdue the other.
Naruto just sat on the bed, giggling to himself as the catfight was really hot. Hehehehe.
After about a few minutes or so, the tired got tired of the childish skirmish. It's time to finish this, Rias stated as she began to charge her power of destruction. Finally, something we can agree on. Holy lightning ran down both of Akeno's arms. Oh. Looks like the show's over, Naruto thought to himself, I should intervene before they ruin my room. Again. Naruto jumped off the bed and in between the two girls. Now, let's all be friends, okay? Silence reigned the room as all of a sudden the two girls retracted their power and seemed to intensely gaze at him or a part of him.
Ladies, neither of the girls responded as they were too busy staring at a certain part of Naruto that was sticking up, hard, and long due to a morning condition of all males.
Doing both Rias and Akeno couldn't help but lick their lips and blush a little. Oh my, they thought as they lustfully stared at Naruto Jr. Both you get out. Naruto blushed and grabbed the two of them by the scruff of their necks as if they were puppies and threw them both of his room. Oh my Satan, did you see the length of his? Hehehe. A little trickle of red blood ran down from Rias' nose as she thought of perverted thoughts. Hey, saw it? I've been on it, you virgin, Akeno smirked confidently knowing that she's ahead of Rias for Naruto's affections.
Rias looked shocked. Why you're lying? Not this time. Foo. His long dick sliding in and out of me as he moaned out my name over and over again, knowing that he's mine. Ooh, it makes me shiver in pleasure just thinking about it, Akeno said sensually as she could literally see the waves of anger rolling off her king's body.
Hey. And nice try. Rias prayed to all the gods that Akeno was lying. Oh well, if you don't believe me, it doesn't matter. As a woman I have other things to attend to. Now shoo you little girl, Akeno said snidely as she dismissed Rias. Akeno. I'm going to kill you, Rias screamed as she tackled her rival. Not if I kill you first, Akeno retorted as she and her enemy rolled around in the hallway. Back in the room, Naruto could only sigh and shake his head. Looks like I'm going out the window again today. Hehehehe, the three perverts giggled to themselves as they watched girls of the Kendo Club. This is. Matsuda started. Just simply. Motohama continued. Asami. Issei finished. Shish, the other two looked at and shushed Issei, they're going to hear us. Too late, the perverted trio turned around to see the angry girls of the Kendo Club. Mercy, the trio begged. No, and with that being said, Issei and his friends' fates were sealed. Ooh. Naruto looked out the window with an amused smile as he couldn't help but grimace as he saw the brutal beating happening a few floors below him. Not there, those are my precious family Jeweahhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhhh. Naruto inwardly flinched as he watched on. The trio was sobbing hysterically. Please. Never. Prepare to never have children again. The girls were absolutely merciless as they prepared the final strike downward until thwack. Naruto was there in a flash and caught the wooden sword in his hand, effectively making sure that the girls couldn't deal any more damage. Now, I think that's enough. And Naruto-sama, the girls couldn't help but blush a little at his handsome appearance, they peeked on us. Ah. Please let them go on my behalf, okay? Naruto gave his signature grin and he knew that it was hook, line and sinker at that moment. Yes, Naruto-sama, the girls screamed with hearts in their eyes. Thanks to Naruto-sama, we'll let you for now, but if you three ever peek on us again. They gave one last threat to the perverted trio before walking off to class. You're welcome, you three, Naruto sighed. Issei jumped up and proclaimed, shut up, you pretty boy. Pretty boys should go die. The other two perverts jumped up to back their friend up. Why yeah, that's right. Screw pretty boys for life. I rather you guys not screw me. I don't swing that way. Naruto chuckled in amusement. Eric. Shut up. The three's faces turned red and ran away to their class in order to make sure they aren't late. Well, looks like I got to go to class too before I become Lea. Rain GGGGG, fuck. Sensei's going to kill me. Yup, that summed up Naruto's situation pretty well. In and out. In and out. I'm only late, she's not going to embarrass me that bad, he thought to himself. As other than Graphia, his sensei's way of embarrassing him and ruining his image was one of the greatest things he avoids as much as possible. Naruto steeled his will and opened the door to only see the amused smiles of his classmates and with his teacher nowhere in sight. Immediately on guard, he looked left and right, but couldn't find her. He looked towards Rias for help, but she turned her head away, still mad from finding out that he had slept with Akeno and not her. Confused by her actions, Naruto looked towards Akeno for a clue, but she too turned away because while she didn't have the same reason as her king to be angry at Naruto, she was irked by the fact that he looked at Rias for help first. What is going on? Naruto's sweat dropped. One classmate taking pity on him pointed up, and as Naruto began to look up, he soon crashed to the ground, falling on his back as he felt a weight drop onto him and two soft mounds of flesh collide with his face. Ow ow ow. Naruto rubbed the back of his head and felt the soft orbs rise off his face to reveal his sensei. His sensei happened to be part devil just like him, in the same peerage as a bishop under Graphia, and if Naruto were to describe her in one word it would have to be crazy. Older than him only by about 3 or 4 years, she was a very young teacher, meaning that like everyone other woman in his life, she was also very beautiful. With softer and bigger breasts than even Akeno, and an ass firmer than Rias, Naruto always had the hardest time controlling his urges whenever he was around her, especially because she wants him to, quote, give her tons of babies to repopulate her clan nya. Oh, hey, Kuroka, Naruto stammered out. It's class time, so it's Kuroka-sensei, Naruto koi. Kuroka began grinding her hips against Naruto's. You've been really naughty lately nya. She moaned out as she felt Naruto's member increasing in size in reaction to her wet lower regions. The class just stared on, with most if not all had blushes on their faces as they stared at the intimate scene before them. The guys looked on at Naruto in jealousy while the girls, especially Rias and Akeno, looked at their sensei wishing they were in her place. Naruto had many rumors surrounding him and the people he hanged out with, but none more so than the rumor of the teacher-student scandalous relationship. Many students testified that they've seen the two kissing all around school, usually in a very lustful, erotic way, but no one's bothered actually calling the two out. Please, not right now and not here, Naruto stuttered. Not now? Does he mean later? The whole class thought as dirty images started appearing in each of their minds. I have to give your punishment, Kuroka moaned out. This is punishment? The class couldn't help but wonder. Not only were you late, but you also ditched yesterday. Kuroka's hip movements slowed down to a stop. Naruto, sensing that he was in trouble, referred back to what he learned at a young age on how to deal with women. There are 3 steps. First, give a charming smile. Second, give a compliment on her looks. And finally go in for the kill by giving a kiss on the cheek. Here we go, Naruto thought to himself. Giving her his sexiest smile, it threw Kuroka off guard. Then Naruto spoke in a huskier voice than usual. Kuroka, you know you're my favorite, right? And finally, he went for the kill by giving her a small peck on the cheek that lit Kuroka's face like a red light. Thinking he was in the clear, Naruto got up from the ground and let out a sigh of relief as he began to walk to his seat when he felt a claw digging into his shoulder. And where do you think you're going? Naruto turned around and saw a dark aura surrounding Kuroka. You still need to face punishment. Naruto sat down at his seat, slowly rubbing his face to a huge red slap mark on his face. Sulking, he sat down, bracing himself for another boring day. Looking around, he met Rias' eyes and couldn't help but notice the range of emotions that was raging across. There was anger, jealousy, but most of all there was hurt. The amount of hurt was so much that it was like a strike to the heart. She mouthed some words to him, but he didn't understand. She mouthed again, but this time he caught it. Rias mouthed 2 words, I know. Naruto receded deep in thought, wondering what those 2 words meant. She knows. She knows what? I don't hide anything from her. Except, Naruto glanced at his twin, who was paying attention diligently, and then back at Rias, who nodded when she felt his gaze. Oh my god. She knows. Fuck. Naruto thought inside, and then sighed out loud. He put his hands behind his head and glanced at the ceiling, lost in thought. What am I supposed to do? And alright, that ends the third chapter of, I believe. As always, there's a few things I'm going to address to hopefully answer a few questions. First, yes, Naruto and Akeno had sex, but Naruto and Rias haven't. The reason why is because Naruto and Rias are engaged. The plan was for the two to save each other for marriage, but obviously, as you can see, Naruto didn't do that and ended up losing his virginity with Akeno. Second, the tone of this chapter was significantly much more different than the other chapters, as it was much more serious, and I hoped you all enjoyed it. Future chapters will be lighter and some will be even darker. You'll have to keep reading in order to find out. Finally, the last thing to talk about is Kuroka. I'm sure none of you guys thought I was going to have her be a teacher of all things. How she isn't a stray devil will be explained in future chapters, but she and Naruto are extremely close, as in she is pretty much the same level of closeness to Naruto as Akeno and Rias. This is because she's older and much more approachable compared to someone like Graphia. As such, Naruto often seeks her out for advice, which results in scenarios like dates. 566 Chapter 5. Kissing Boo-Boos in, holy shit, it has been a long time. To all those who have been following this story since the beginning, to those who have only recently read my trash writing, thank you for sticking with me. It does mean a lot, and I hope this chapter makes up for it, or at least somewhat appeases the fans. Onto the actual story itself. First, I have read every single review, and I know many of you love and many of you hate what I have done with Graphia, but if you're one of the haters, you can easily skip over her scenes, parts. No problemo. Secondly, a small few of you hate the fact that Naruto gets girls so easily, but as I stated previously, all shall be reviewed through flashbacks. If anything, Graphia won't be easy at all. Third, this chapter will pick up pretty much immediately after the previous one, so I recommend refreshing your memory. Last but not least, thank you so much for reading. I cannot emphasize my appreciation enough. Leave a review and let me know what you think of this overdue chapter. Talking Thoughts, Chapter 4, Kissing Boo-Boos. That's all for today's lesson, NYA. Kuroka purred as she closed her lecture book. Go and enjoy your weekend class. Hi sensei. Ring GGG. The students whooped and cheered as the school bell rang, signaling that Kuroka was indeed correct and that school was finally over. And as they began to mingle amongst themselves, discussing plans or preparing for weekend jobs, Naruto knew he had to act quickly before his target was out of reach. Hey Rias, hold on a second, will ya? Naruto made his way to his fiancée's desk. Surrounded by the normal whispers of the great Oni-sama of the school, Rias added Naruto to the numerous amount of people tended to ignore. She huffed once and finished packing up her bag to leave the school, to get away from Naruto, the source of her distress. Rias, please. I just want to talk. Naruto hurried after his love as she left the room. Once again, she ignored the one she loved most and the one who has caused her the most pain as well. Rias, stop. Naruto grabbed her wrist and halted her movements. Rias turned on him. Anger. Betrayal. Jealously. As Naruto stared into Rias' emerald eyes, he saw every emotion she was feeling. However, most of all, he saw hurt. He saw the immense hurt she was feeling due to his actions. Rias said nothing, and with tears in her eyes she ran off, and the whispers in the crowds grew at the conflict between two of the most popular teens in Kuo Academy. It had to be done. With that thought, a woman with an orange ribbon tying her hair walked off, feeling guilty, yet satisfied. I don't know what to do. Naruto paced back and forth through the apartment. Kuroka's sweat dropped as she got out of her chair to pour the two of them some water. When you asked me if you could over, this isn't what I imagined us doing. Oh, and please tell what you thought we were going to do. Naruto hugged her from behind, breathing softly on Kuroka's neck, causing her to shiver and a little aroused, even if she did not want to admit it. Stop. She whined. Okay sensei. Naruto smirked and withdrew himself. Kuroka glared at him and set the 2 cups of water on the table as she gestured for him to set. Kuroka 0. Naruto 1. What did you come here for anyway? I'm a busy person, and you can't just come to me whenever you want, she sighed. Naruto sat down. Don't be like that, I know you enjoy my company. But as for why I am here, I need some advice. I'm interested, but it's going to cost ya, Kuroka winked. Naruto only smirked as he got up from his chair, choosing to approach his fellow peerage member. He slowly began to lean down as Kuroka began to lean up, and he closed his eyes expecting to feel soft lips. Now Naruto Koi, who said anything about that? He opened one eye to see he was kissing her glass of water instead. Kuroka. Fine. What do you want? Let me think of it for a while, but anyway, what do you want to know about? Kuroka's tail waved back and forth, drawing forth Naruto's eyes. From there, his eyes lingered along her curvy form as the draping hoodie she was wearing did nothing to hide her enormous bust and ass. Snap out of it, Naruto. Don't get sucked into her charms. Naruto clapped his face together. She only smirked as she watched Naruto struggling to remember why he came to her home in the first place. Kuroka won. Naruto won. You're such a tease. Kuroka raised an eyebrow at that comment. Anyway, I need help in apologizing to Rias. I really messed up this time and I can tell she has never been this upset at me before. Oh, I noticed your little interaction after class today, she nodded. But what did you even do to make her this angry anyway? You're her fiancé, you need to treat her better. I don't want to talk about it. Naruto avoided eye contact. Ho ho. How interesting, NYA, I'm even more interested now. Kuroka pressed her impressive body onto Naruto's. Ha. It isn't that important. Naruto kept backing up while Kuroka kept pushing her advantage. But didn't you say that she has never been this upset before? So Naruto-kun, what did you do? Naruto started to sweat as he had nowhere to run as he was now backed into the wall. Frick, now I have another problem, he thought to himself.
Kuroka took that moment of weakness to strike. She pounced on the one she loved, eager to make him squirm as she began to move her body up and down, feeling his hardening member while she used her hands to lightly tease what she liked to call the babymaker.
I think I will use my favor now actually, Kuroka exclaimed as a light bulb went off in her head. Do you really want to waste it on something like this? Yup. That was quick, Naruto thought to himself and answered, alright fine. Can you at least stop what you're doing? Stop what? I'm not doing anything, Kuroka chirped innocently. Naruto just sighed. I may have mumble with mumble. What was that? Kuroka tilted her head. Speak clearer, NYA. More mumbles, I said. Speak clearer, NYA. Kuroka gripped Naruto's balls hard. And when someone does that, no matter what man, he will answer. I slept with a Keno, Naruto blurted out. The effect was immediate. Kuroka took a step back and looked down with a shadow covering her face. Hey, is everything alright, Kuroka? Naruto was a little worried. 1. Because Kuroka has always pressured him to have sex with her, so she might be jealous. And 2, he knew Kuroka desired him, and if he was being honest, he knew that he had feelings for her, perhaps, even on the same level as he felt for Rias and Akeno. Kuroka didn't respond. Kuroka. Naruto lifted her chin, so he can see her face and her emotions, and if there wasn't a wall behind him, he too might have stepped back in shock. For the scene in front of him was something he had never witnessed before. Kuroka was crying and tears were streaming down her face like waterfalls. Naruto was at a loss for words. He thought Kuroka at the most would be more forward with her advances, but he never expected her to actually cry. Kuroka wiped away her tears. I'm okay. Kuroka, you obviously aren't okay. But what did I do? At that moment, Kuroka kneed him in the balls. Hard. Ah. Fuck. Naruto collapsed to the ground, not having the ability to move at all. The pain fucking hurt. Haha. See, I'm fine. Now you're the one that's not okay. Wye. Oh my god, the pain that normally was invoked when speaking the Lord's name was nothing compared to how poor Naruto Jr. was feeling at the moment. Naruto, I love you. More than anything in this world. Kuroka smiled so sincerely and her face radiated so much happiness. Naruto found himself no longer feeling any pain. Since when? Since the day you gave me a new life, Kuroka reminisced fondly. Flashback. It has now been a full year and a half since Naruto and Akeno had sex and both were now approaching 16 years of age. As the queen of Rias peerage, despite their many arguments, Rias and Akeno have formed an unlikely bond, and while neither would admit it to each other or anyone else, they formed a friendship as well. At least Naruto hoped so. Fuck you, no fuck you, you can't just repeat my insult, it's unoriginal. It's called using your own words against you. You are so infuriating. I know you are, but what am I? Naruto could only facepalm as he heard the two of them yelling outside the door to the room he was supposed to be studying in. Naruto. Pay attention. Why yes, Grafia-sama. Man, was his king the scariest person alive. Instead of her usual maid outfit, the hot devil exchanged it for a formal blazer and skirt, giving off a very sexy teacher kind of vibe, serving to distract Naruto even more. It is hard to concentrate with those two making such a ruckus outside. I'll take care of it. Grafia immediately turned to the noise. Shoot. Sorry Rias and Akeno. I hope you don't get hurt too bad, Naruto thought to himself as he braced himself for screams of pain. It is time to make my mistake. Naruto slowly climbed out the window and ran off into the woods behind the Gremory mansion. Grafia turned around when she heard the click of the window being closed. Looks like my lesson needs to be a little harsher. Rias and Akeno were hunched against each other, both dazed as their world was spinning. I am going to kill this idiot, no matter how cute he is. Naruto was laughing to himself as he escaped the doom of Grafia's teaching. She can be so hot, but no way am I sitting for a second longer. As he reached a clearing, he found a nice place to rest under the shade of a tree and closed his eyes while closing off his power, so he could not be sensed. The breeze was nice and cool. Despite being in the underworld, the air was crisp and Naruto blissfully fell asleep. I got. Take. Before. Wakes. Naruto shifted in his sleep. It has been 3 hours since he entered the dreamland and the night was approaching. Aha. Almost there. Naruto blearily opened his eyes only to gaze at the most beautiful person he had ever seen. Bending over him was a young woman with a voluptuous figure, long black hair with split bangs, and hazel gold eyes with cat-like pupils. What stood out most, however, was her 2 cat ears and 2 swishing black tails. She looks an awfully like Kaneko, Naruto thought as he observed her more intensely. Meanwhile, Kuroka could freeze in shock and think, this is bad. This is really bad. She was going back to her hideout after doing her weekly checkup on her little Chiron when she came across a blonde teen who was sleeping. Knowing she had to take advantage of every opportunity, she was trying to rob the sleeping man. Now that the blonde figure who was previously sleeping was awake, she observed him closely and began to recognize who he was.
Recognizing that he wasn't actually blonde, but rather he had sun-kissed streaks of blonde through black hair, she moved her eyes down his body. Even though he was wearing a sweater, the muscle that was developed was apparent, and the previous undetected power was being let loose that coiled all around them. She was beginning to regret trying to take his wallet, especially if her hunch about who he was right.
And when his eyes began to swirl and change to black and white, her worry only grew. Telos Karma, one of the 13 Longinus. The sacred gearholder. Naruto Himejima, queen of the famous Grafia Lucifuge, a devil becomingly increase famous for his growing power. Fuck me. Kuroka knew she was in trouble. Shouldn't we at least get to know each other first? Naruto deactivated his sacred gear, confused why this pretty woman wanted him to fuck her out of nowhere. Thinking she could take advantage of his confusion, Kuroka rested her body on top of Naruto's. I'm Kuroka. What's your name, NYA? I'm Naruto, he said with not a shred of a clue of what was going on except for the fact that a hot chick was grinding on his member. I need to ditch Grafia's lessons more often. Nice to meet you, Naruto Koi, and with that Kuroka claimed his lips. When they kissed, both felt a shock run through their bodies, surprising each other. Now, Kuroka has kissed many people before as she had to do what she needed to do survive, and she knew she was good. It's how she manipulated dozens and how she easily got wallets, but kissing Naruto was simply amazing. Naruto felt the same. He felt excited that something totally new and unexpected was happening. He had no idea who this was, but he knew that she was someone special. I honestly don't really understand what's happening, but from now on you are mine. Naruto broke apart the kiss and flipped their positions so he was now on top. Kuroka blushed at his words. What? Why you can't just say something like that, NYA? Hell if I care. Naruto began to kiss and suck Kuroka's neck as they resumed grinding on the forest floor, both losing themselves into their desires. They don't know how much time had passed, but they didn't care. Their heated actions towards could no longer be put into the category of making out, and they would have continued their fun had they not been interrupted. Ahem, the two kept going. Ahem, the two were lost, when all of a sudden both of their eyes opened and they shot off of each other just in time as a projectile pierced where they just were. What the fuck? I'll beat yo. Naruto's words died in his throat as he looked up to see his master, the strongest queen. Kuroka tensed. She knew despite Naruto's strength, she could take him on as he was still developing it, but there was no way she could win in a fight with a Satan's queen. Do you know how late it is? Graphia scolded. No? Naruto grew anxious. Did you know everyone was waiting for you to eat, especially Venelena-sama? No. He was so screwed. Rias' mom hated it when people were not there at the dinner table. And to top it all off, you skipped my lesson to meet with a skanky stray devil? Graphia's tone grew dark. Wait, what? Kuroka's a stray? Naruto perked up confused and all of a sudden had to dodge an ice spike. Hey, what the hell? You didn't think you'd be let off without being disciplined, did you? Accept your fate. While this was going on, Kuroka knew she had to slip away. Now is the time. But before she could, a giant ice wall erupted her path. Where do you think you are going, stray? Sears X-sama will determine what will happen to you. Tisk. I have no choice now. Kuroka prepared herself to fight as she readied her senjutsu. Kuroka? Naruto watched in astonishment as the woman he met was holding her own against the ultimate queen. Kuroka weaved in and out of Graphia's ice blasts and prepared to strike when a spear of ice pierced her stomach right before she could reach the queen. Wrong one. Kuroka's mirage that was pierced faded as she unleashed a blast of energy against Graphia's unprotected back. You're finished, Nya. Boom. Naruto was shook as he tried to stand up from the injuries his king had inflicted upon him. I can't believe Kuroka actually managed to land a clean hit. What a woman. The dust began to clear and instead of seeing Graphia injured, the two saw an ice shield that was undamaged. I admit you are stronger than Naruto. Hey. But you still need to do more to beat me. I expect no less from the someone of your caliber. Kuroka and Graphia stared at each other from across the clearing, analyzing each other's moves. Wait. Naruto hobbled between the two of them. Naruto. Both exclaimed before glancing at each other. One worried about her newfound boy. One feeling just the tiniest bit guilty before realizing he was in the wrong and turned her killing intent onto him. I hope Graphia doesn't actually kill me for this. Naruto shivered and then spoke, Graphia-sama. Graphia paid close attention. Naruto never used honorifics unless it was serious. Please stop this madness. You don't even know who this is. Kuroka is a SS-class stray devil who is drunk on her power and killed her master. She abandoned her sister, Kaneko, who you know well, to fend for herself and to be executed. Graphia's tone was monotone and meant business. Those are lies, Nya. Kuroka exclaimed, please, it is not what it seems like at all. He was going to kill us. He had a PLA. She was silenced as Naruto raised his hand. He began to walk toward her, and she knew that it was a lost cause. He didn't believe her. Just like everyone else. She knew she would be able to survive, so closed her eyes waiting for the end. Her eyes struck open because instead of feeling the expected pain, all she felt was warmth. She realized with a start that Naruto was hugging her. I believe you are right. I believe in the person that you are. I believe, he whispered into her ear, and with tears in her eyes, she hugged him back, sobbing that finally someone believed her. Graphia only watched the scene unfold, crossing her arms. Please tell Naruto why you believe her. You only think she is right because she seduced you. You let your emotions dictate your actions too often. I know I taught you better. Indeed, you did teach me better. Naruto let go of Kuroka, who felt saddened by the loss of comfort, and that's why with Telos Karma, I made sure from the start what kind of person she was. I thought his sacred gear was always activated. Kuroka was shocked as she recalled seeing his eyes, so that means he evaluated me from the start. With Telos Karma, I sensed the type of devil Kuroka was weighing and judging her life as good or bad. With it, I found that the scale tipped to good beyond measure. All the bad she may have done has absolutely little effect on the overwhelming good that radiates from her soul. Kuroka was moved and Graphia could only sigh. That doesn't rectify that she is a stray who killed her master. Actually, I thought of a solution. Flashback end. Kuroka shook herself out of the past and smiled at Naruto, who was still on the ground hunched over. Since you've came into my life, I have become close to Sharon again and found someone to love forever. Naruto blushed at the sincerity in her voice, but it also is why it hurts so much to know that you slept with Akeno. I know I wasn't in your life for as long as her, but she is your sister while I can actually be someone you can marry and have lots of babies with NYA. Naruto ignored the sister part and instead chose to focus on something else. She said, I'm engaged to Rias, we can't get married. Speaking of Rias, I can only imagine what she is going through, so I do not know what you can do to make it up to her besides show her you love her in a way she's never seen before. Naruto, here's my piece of advice, be more aware. You have so many girls who care for you. Me, Akeno, Rias, and even Graphia who won't ever admit it. Your actions as a playboy, intentional or not, can hurt those that are closest. Then do I need to pick one? Because I can't. I have feelings for each of you. The answer is simple. You choose me. Kuroka laid on the ground next to where Naruto was still in pain. Right. I'll pick the crazy hot woman who need me in the balls. I noticed you said hot, Kuroka smirked. What am I supposed to do with you? Naruto closed his eyes and wondered more to himself than speaking to Kuroka. I love you and I mean it, and I'll make you realize that your feelings for me are stronger than anyone else's. NYA. Kuroka began slipping off her kimono. And how are you going to do that exactly? Naruto questioned, still with his eyes closed, as he felt Kuroka's tongue slip into his mouth and they began a tug of war of sorts. The two of them lay there on the floor of Kuroka's apartment, kissing and conveying their feelings. When Kuroka drew back, Naruto opened his eyes to find himself treated to an eye candy more delicious than anything in the world. Kuroka took off Naruto's pants and underwear and his third leg sprung to attention. Well, I'm going to kiss your boo-boo, she said as she gave him a wink. She lowered her mouth and a different kind of kiss began. And phew, I don't know if you guys will enjoy it, but I had some writing that and I hope it makes up for my long absence. A few things to note. First, I do not think I am that great at writing fight scenes, so please do not judge me too hard, ha ha ha. Second, my biggest thing in writing this fanfic is that I wish to be unique. When I read other amazing stories on this website, I always wonder to myself, what if this happened instead? And it's those types of questions that give me inspiration. Thirdly, Naruto being a playboy will have consequences. Lastly, I am expanding on what telos karma can do, so please bear with me. With that being said, leave a review on any unique ideas you guys have when reading this, any ideas for telos karma, helpful constructive criticism, or even just a nice chapter. Comments like, this sucks, or, this is so random, are kinda funny. Why bother reading this fanfic if you don't like it? Do something else with your life instead of reading bad fanfic. Thank you for watching guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe.